So what we've got here, all of these numbers here represent the goals that my football team scored in each of the games that they played last season. So this game, they didn't score any goals. In this game, they scored 1 goal. Okay. In this game, they scored 2 goals. And obviously, we just got a bit of a mess there, right? So we just got lots of numbers. So the first thing that we want to think about is can we just take these numbers here and maybe just present them in a better way? Because there's just a lot of numbers and I want to do some stuff with it. I want to work some things out. So so the first thing that I thought of is I'm gonna rewrite it, but I'm gonna rewrite it with the numbers in some sort of order. Now those are exactly the same numbers, and I've got a little bit of information on there. You can see what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to find out the mean for a large data set. So remember the mean, we add the numbers together and then we divide by how many there are. So we could have done this. We could have gone 0, add 1, add 3, add 3, add 1, add 0, etc. and work that through. I want you to imagine this on a much bigger scale. Imagine that we've got like 100 numbers or 200 numbers, 1,000 numbers. That's going to be a mess doing that. If I know how many games we didn't score any goals, how many goals have we scored in those games? We haven't scored any. If I knew how many times our team scored 1 goal, then I can work out the total number of goals. Remember, what we're actually after is the total number of goals. So again, I'm still not entirely happy with that the way that I've set those numbers out. So what I did next is I drew a little frequency table. So let me just show you this over here. So I've taken that information and I put it over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say to ourselves, remember, to work out the mean, I need to work out how many goals there are. I'm going to divide up by the number of matches that were played. So let's work out how many goals there are. So there were 8 times we didn't score any goals. So that's 0 multiplied by 8, which is 0, of course. And 10 times we scored 1 goal. So that's 10 goals. And then 12 times we scored 2 goals. So there you go. So that's 24 goals. And 3 times we scored 3 goals. So that's 9 goals. 5 times we scored 4 goals. So 4 times 5. The more time you spend setting this out, it's just the easier it is. So that's those 5 games. There were 20 goals altogether. And there was also a couple of times where we scored 5 goals. Right? Hooray! Fantastic. So that's 10 goals altogether. So remember the idea. We want to work out the mean. So the mean is the total number of goals. So if I add this lot together, so that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 69, 73. So 73 goals altogether. Remember, you can use your calculator, of course you can. And then if I add these together, that's going to give me the total number of games that we've played, the number of matches. So if I add this lot together, 10, 20, 30, 40 games. So there were 40 games altogether. So let's work this out. So the mean, 73 goals divided by 40 matches. So 73 over 40. Get your calculator, okay? Don't worry about trying to do it. There we go. So 73 divided by 40, and that's 1.825. 1.825 goals per game. Try and write down what it actually means. Don't just write 1.825. Try and write goals per game, because it just makes more sense to go and do that. Of course, you can't score 1.825 goals in a game, right? It's a notional figure. Right, the other things that we might be asked to work out from this, let's just have a quick look at the other things. So let's go with the mode first of all. So remember, the mode is the most common number of goals. So what's the most common number of goals? It's not 12, It's 2. Very common mistake here is to say that the most common number of goals is 12, because that's like the highest number there. It's 2. Right? That's the highest. So the mode number of goals is 2 goals. And now the median. Now the median is slightly trickier to do. We've got 40 games. So if I were to put those in order, the 40 games. So I've got 8 games of 0, 10 games of 1, 12 games of 2, etc. I'm interested in the, so half of 40 is 20. It's actually 20.5, but we're going to ignore that. Right, let's just imagine the 20th game. Right, where is the 20th one when we put them in order? Now the easiest thing to do is if we just write the cumulative amount inside. So there's 8 up to there, 18 up to there, and then there's 30 up to there, 33, 38, 40. Where was the 20th one? It must be in here. So the median is also 2. So the median is 2 goals. Right, we're trying to find out the middle one. Okay, the middle one. And the range is the highest number of goals, take away the lowest number of goals. So the highest number of goals scored in any game was 5. The lowest number of goals scored in any game was 0. So 5 take away 0 is obviously 5. Okay, so the range is 5 goals. All right. So you're going to practice some questions. And on those questions, so the mean, just going to follow this idea, this format here. You might get a table drawn the opposite way round. If it's like that, what I tend to do is I just rotate the table. I just find it much easier to do it this way round. So that's how you're going to work out the mean. Think about what you're actually working out as you go through. Right? Don't just keep multiplying numbers together and adding stuff, because people end up getting these numbers the wrong way around. All right? Actually look at the number. Does it make sense? 1.825. Yeah, that sounds about right. The mode is the most common one. So let's find the highest number here. It is possible to have 2. Okay. And then the median, slightly tricky. You've got to think about that. There's 40 games. So you're interested, if they're all in order, where's the 20th game? There's an argument about looking at 20.5. That argument is for another time. Don't worry about it for the moment. Range is 5 take away 0. So 5 goals, because 5 was the maximum number of goals. 0 was the smallest number of goals scored in a game. Alright, so have a go and try and do a few questions. There we go.